Welcome back to another episode of Clare Schools, which as you can see is today coming to you from a new location. That's because I've just moved back to Cambridge, and that also explains why it's been a little bit of time since the last upload. Now the reason I've moved to Cambridge just now is because I'm actually leaving Clare. I'm just moving down the road to another college, Gonville Caius College, to become its tutor for admissions and outreach, which means I'll be overseeing the admissions process and leading its strategies for widening participation. I'm obviously sad to be leaving Clare and to be no longer contributing to this channel, but don't worry, there's a brand new schools liaison officer about to take over who'll be making regular uploads to this channel as usual, so everything's going to carry on as it was before. I'll also be starting a new YouTube channel in my role at Keys and making similar videos to what I've been making on here. Now the main purpose of this video is really just to explain why I'll be disappearing, so you don't just suddenly not see me anymore and wonder where I've gone. It's also to say goodbye, to say thank you for watching. I've really enjoyed working on this project and I hope you found our videos useful. But I also want to use this video to say a little bit about the admissions process for next year. Of course it's going to look a little bit different to how it usually looks, but I want to stress that these differences are merely practical. In spirit it's the same as ever. We're looking for candidates with the highest potential, irrespective of background. The process is fair and transparent, as it always is. Now I'm going to show you some comments a little later on from our admissions tutors, but I just want to say something about what's going to happen in terms of the parts of the admissions process which would usually take place in the colleges and in person. You may be able to guess that there are difficulties there, so they're going to take place remotely. So the interviews will be remote. Exactly what they'll look like, what the process will be, that information will be released on the university website. So do keep checking the website, and as soon as that information is out there, that's the place to find it. Now because of the strangeness of the times, I'm sure many of you watching who are planning to apply in a few months will have even more questions than usual about the application process and about what it will be like to be a student here. I'm going to end this video, as I just mentioned, with some selected comments from our admissions tutors at Clare, Howard Griffiths and Tim Chesters, from their full video, which is up on our channel, and I'll put a link down below if you haven't seen it so you can watch the full thing. That's their Q&A from our open days, where they addressed a number of questions about admissions and specifically about admissions in the time of the COVID virus. But if you have any further questions or concerns after watching them, do feel free to email us, admissions@clare.cam.ac.uk as always, and also just a reminder that the university website is the best place to go, as always, for up-to-date and accurate information as it gets released. So that's all for now and for a while from me, but do stay tuned for lots more exciting content coming from someone new very soon, and in the meantime, stay safe and take care.
When will colleges be open to visit again? Well, we are hoping to, all freshers will be arriving in October this year, so we will be open, but whether the extent that we'll be open for visitors in general will still be around, it will depend upon the government requirements for social distancing and so on. Because of that, we don't think that it will be safe to bring many of you for interview here this year, and that's why interviews are going to be run on a virtual basis. Although the full details of that interview procedures haven't yet been published, and so they will become available on the website very shortly.
Okay, we've got a question about whether we expect what we expect the impact to be on intake numbers next year due to the consequences of coronavirus and possible deferred acceptances. Perhaps surprisingly to some, we haven't had many requests from students who are scheduled to begin this year to defer until next year. And we would only grant those requests in the presence of really quite serious extenuating circumstances. We're not planning to just defer a whole bunch of students who are due to start in 2020 to start in 2021. In other words, there won't be any knock-on effect for our intake numbers for 2021. So please don't worry about that.
Any pre-interview assessments are sat on the 4th of November. So we have a very tight schedule between around the end of October and the second week of November, in which we read all the applications. Well, I read all the science applications, Tim reads all the arts applications, We discuss all of the applications with the look at all aspects of your application with the directors of studies. And so normally we're able to send out interview invitations in the second to third week of November. But of course, this will be slightly, as we're saying, there will not be personal interviews at Cambridge this year. So, and the process for dealing with that will be advertised very shortly. And the same goes for the sort of question there was about the law at interview assessment. Details of those subjects which normally have at interview assessments, the details of how that will be managed will be announced within the next 6 to 8 weeks. There's a question about disadvantage. I mean, we really do appreciate that your cohort of potential applicants have suffered rather more severe disruption, perhaps, to the delivery of education than those who have nominally sat their A-levels this year. We will be recognising that and take all of those factors into account when we consider your application. So please do, and if you can give additional information about disruption, use that supplementary questionnaire to do so.